Hey everybody, and welcome back. Oh, did I text you? Hi everybody, and welcome back to the farm. We're doing an impromptu July garden tour. It's the end of July, the last day. Today is the 31st. We have had such a crazy busy schedule. We just came back from a Mexican restaurant. My father-in-law got a special award today. That's we're kind of dressy. I'm not ready for any kind of garden tour, so you're gonna really see the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's parts of it that are just beautiful. They're booming despite being really overgrown and neglected. So let's do it. Let's just give you the tour. We've made some changes around here and some things have really grown. Y'all, let me just start over here at this wall. You're not gonna believe this. It just keeps giving and growing. Look at it, Judd. Wow. Look at this. I'm doing a garden tour. Do you need me?
I'm just, can I be with you?
You want to be in my tour? Okay, go deal with that and then come back and you can be in my video. That's so cute. So as you can see, this is turned into one giant monoculture of just sweet potato vine. The cleome is standing bright throughout it, but if I would do this again, the sweet potato vine left this feeling really two-dimensional. And so I think this would be beautiful. I think we need some really ornamental trees. I really want to put fringe trees right here. I think they're gorgeous, that they're so chic, they're elegant, beautiful trunk structure to them. But I think we got to break up the monotony. And I could do petunias, but I just know myself and I don't think I'm going to feed and water the petunias enough. Once these were established, I left these alone and they just turned into a monster. Butterfly bushes along the back would be really nice. But as much as I love a very put together landscape with just a few colors and just a few structures, this is just way too mono flavor for me. So anyway, there's the wall. Where's the lavender? Where's the angelonia? Don't know. The begonias long since have been covered up, but that it really spilled over. That's what I wanted it to do. Let me show you just a few of the highlights. Okay, so here we are in front of the barn. Helen, what are you doing? Just being chaotic. Is the rooster on the front porch? Can we not? They poop everywhere. Okay, so this little section of the garden is doing really well. The vinca did well. The begonias are looking beautiful. This Rose of Sharon, the blue chiffon Rose of Sharon, it's kind of petering out, and that's okay. It's about that time. It's the end of July. It goes through these huge cycles. And actually, look at me. I'm speaking too soon. There's a million buds all over this thing. So it looks like it's about to erupt into another beautiful cycle. Tons of weeds have grown in through here just because I haven't had a minute to breathe. I need to do a lot better with our weed control next year. And then we have a couple of pots that we have up here. The sweet potato vine in this one is looking sad. It's looking finished. The angelonia has exploded. The verbena has done exactly what I want it to do. Now here's what kills me. We killed 2 sky pencils and then I sat this pot on top of them. And obviously I have not killed the sky pencil. It's growing around it. So, okay, I think we should totally vote. I think that I should just make this look like the pot. It should be a living pot. I mean, the only way that this can go wrong is if it begins to grow through the drainage holes on the bottom, and then I have this massive, like, you know, I don't want a tree growing out of the top of the pot. The reason we got rid of the sky pencil is because I didn't like the aesthetic it was giving. It was just blocking our view right here from the porch. So this area is beautiful. I really wish I would get on top of watering a little bit better. But let me go tell you my plans for the pool over here. So we are going to landscape in front and beside right here. I think I'm going to go with some Dystillium. I really love the look of the Dystillium and I can keep it low. I think it's an easy grower. It can tolerate the shade that's going to be over here, but it gets a ton of sun all morning. We're not going to landscape right here because this is actually a pathway walking to that pasture where the horses often are. So there's future plans. Got to put the railings up. We're going to put a lid on it, hopefully to match the gathering place, which is up there. Oh, I can't see it because of the trees. Okay, here. Are you guys ready? Let me turn the camera around. It just feels like no matter how hard I try, I cannot stay on top of this garden, and it deserves so much more attention. Look how beautiful this little swoop is leading up to the barn. And I just I neglect it, even though it's like my favorite child. this is just, it's a tough one. Okay, okay, I'm going to find somebody to blame that's not me, because that's my personality. When we cut the grass, when I cut the grass in a way that all of the grass blows into the driveway, because I know that I'm also going to be inevitably moving some seeds. My husband hates to use the blower and have to blow all the grass all the way across. And so when he cuts the grass, he cuts it in a way that is blowing that way. So it's kind of hidden. And I get where he's coming from, but I hate it. He better be glad he's cute, because I hate it so much. And I think obviously we're going to have weeds, but there's so many seeds just growing in here, and I'm going to blame him for it. So there we go. Behind this hot mess right there is some perennials that are they're doing good. So as soon as I pull weeds, watch out, folks, because I'm going to be in a Southern Living magazine one of these days. Let me turn the camera on and I'll give you a little tour. So this little booger right here is the bane of my existence. I cannot deal because of these thorns. They are so stinking sharp. And so I haven't come in here because I'm waiting on like the perfect weed tool to just appear. I could just buy one off of Amazon, but I'm so lazy. The impatiens are absolutely phenomenal. I will 100% always put these white impatiens in here with the greens and the purples and the other whites. It is everything. I absolutely adore it. And I think it's a perfect bed for the daisies, which are going to get bigger and bigger, and they're going to fill in together. I think I'm going to do a whole row of daisies back here. We've got a little penstemon right back there. It's trying. It's not a this year plant. It's a next year plant. It's a long-term plant. But the lavender, perfection. And then we've got the Russian sage. It's coming in. It's doing great. It's just in between bloom cycles right now. You know how it does. It's going to put some growth on, and then that's going to die out. And this is opening up a fresh stash of blooms. Oh, all these weeds right here. That really kills it for you, doesn't it? But it is what it is. And the Nepeta is looking really, really good. So just imagine this Nepeta with no pine straw. What do y'all think? Should I do pine straw anymore? Should I just do on mulch? I have not let my chickens out to free range because we're dealing with so many foxes right now. The reason I didn't do mulch in this bed was because of the chickens. They just kick it everywhere, and they can't really disturb the pine straw like the other stuff. But it's looking beautiful. Like I said, love these impatiens. This is allium. Hi, Andy. I hear you coming. Hi, girl. Good girl. Okay, get out of the video. Good girl. This ornamental onion right here is going to be blooming in August. So we're just a month away, maybe half a month away from that. And that's going to be beautiful. Don't you just love the lamb's ear? I adore it. I want it everywhere. Now, we did have something sad happen. I've got one boxwood that is wanting to survive right here, but our other ones have completely died. I'm not sure what caused it, but you can see this hole right there where I removed one. That's just Monarda wild bee balm that's kind of taken over. That has got to go. But I don't really know what I did, but I killed him. So I've got some replacing to do when it comes to the boxwoods. I may not do boxwoods again. I don't really know. But the Cleome that is back here has earned its rent for sure. It's gorgeous. I love it. Such a perfect back of bed plant. The Veronica right here has been performing very, very well. And then we've got the salvia. That is the Play in the Blues from Proven Winners. Beautiful salvia. Now this bee balm, it was here for the bees. The bees really do love it. The butterflies really, really do love it. So I'm glad it was here, but it's got to go. This is way too messy. This is not the look that I want for this bed. I'm already a messy person naturally, and so I don't need anything to add to that. Look at how many bumblebees are on this salvia. Are you guys yeah, you're no bumblebees. Oh, they just love it. They're just camping out everywhere. Look at that. That is insane. If you are a honey farmer, if you've got an apiary, this might be the plant that you need to have, because they are just everywhere. Absolutely phenomenal. That is one plant. One plant. All right, moving on. All of this wild bee balm has got to go. I'm pulling it up. I'm probably going to have to spray because it is so incredibly invasive. It was even covering up this lavender, which is why it's only like half an orb. It was just reaching for the sunlight. I went in there and yanked stuff away from it. a couple days ago. Here we have some Ansonia. It's really beautiful, but it's awfully floppy at this point. Like, I can see giant gaps, and I don't love that look. I'm going for a cottage garden that is like a collected look, so it's not giving what I want it to give right now. So I got to think on that. Here's another salvia. This is the Playing the Blues. Another cleome. I had lost a cleome right there, and then obviously that's where a boxwood was. I don't know what killed the cleome that was over here. We have a couple of roosters that are free roaming. This part of the bed is so incredibly messy. I don't have any excuses. I just haven't gotten in here. Look at this watermelon. Just growing wild. So our July has just been insane, and this is what happens. It doesn't feel like it would take me more than a morning or an afternoon to conquer this. So it is what it is. I just have to make the time and choose a nice cool morning to come out here. So gorgeous bed, gorgeous potential. I mean, it's not completely ruined by weeds. It could just be better. That white, I think that pop of white really saves this whole bed. It gives it some structure, and it helps the eye to follow this whole path. So forever and ever, always, I will always do these white impatiens. Let me take you into my vegetable garden. I don't think we've shown our vegetable garden at all, like this little patch over here. So it's a mess too. Just, are you ready? First we'll come over and see Dahlia. Hi, baby. Are you saying hi? One of the moms after farm camp came and dropped off a goat for us. And she was like, it was a pet and we don't want a pet anymore. So now we have Dahlia. You're gonna hear Dahlia a lot in the background because her little stall is right there. But here's the vegetable patch. I'm not gonna put the vegetable garden here again. I thought it was gonna be more like aesthetic, but it's right behind the lavender haze that's going right here. And you know, vegetable gardens they're not meant to look like a structured landscape. They're just meant to produce vegetables. And it's really hard to make it without like raised beds and gravel. And even then, you know, your beds are just out of control because the plants are going to go where they want to go. So if I did a garden bed here again in this location, it would have to be all raised beds, very refined, you know, like Pinterest kind of perfect. So I obviously am not going to commit to that because I know myself well enough. So I'm going to move the vegetable patch, even though this has been a good location for it. I don't like seeing it behind the lavender haze when I'm coming down my driveway. Does that make sense? Like I can see this in the background of it, and it steals the effort that I was going for. So let me show you first the tomatoes. We still haven't gotten one red tomato. Tomatoes. The tomatoes are lining the front of this garden bed right here, as well as whatever that enormous, obnoxious pokey weed is. The tomatoes are doing all right. Oop, we have a hornworm somewhere. That is a dead giveaway. We've got a horn whale. Twinkle, hi darling. I forgot you were in this pasture. I opened that gate over there and I forgot. So our tomatoes are coming in good. We should probably do some fried green tomatoes, or my husband loves pickled green tomatoes. We haven't sprayed this bed, not that I'm against it, just it's a time thing. But all the tomatoes on the bottom and all of our plants are getting gobbled up by, we've got roosters that are free ranging. They were given the instructions to eat bugs, and then they found tomatoes and they were like, on second thought, I would much rather have tomatoes. So we've lost a few, but any day now, we should be canning some salsa. Won't that be great? We've got a really enormous eggplant bush right here. And I just pulled about 7 eggplant from this yesterday. It's really performed. At the beginning, it was slow going, and I thought, what a waste of time. But we have enjoyed a lot of stir-fried eggplant. I don't know if you've ever had eggplant in your stir-fry cuisine. Oop, look, there's one. But stir-fry is the way that we enjoy eggplant the most. And then over here, look, we've got white eggplant. Look at this mess. What was the purpose of the weed barrier? Am I right? But look at the white eggplants. Aren't they darling? They're so cute in a stir fry too. I also think that their blooms are really, really pretty. But you know the most beautiful bloom on a vegetable plant is the okra. Let's see if we can find an okra blossom. I think they are just darling. Let's see. Here's one that's about to open up. It reminds me of a hibiscus, actually. Squash bug. Hallelujah. Let's go somewhere else. Surely there's one open somewhere. There's a whole bunch of... Assassin bugs, go away. You can tell we haven't sprayed this. Well, lots of buds. I wish they would open up. I bet I have a picture one. I'll slap a picture on here. But here's the okra. It's been doing very well. This is no good for eating anymore. So when I accidentally let the okra grow too tall because I missed it or didn't have time to harvest for a couple of days, I'm going to let these grow and grow and grow, and then I'm going to dry them. Let me show you something. I saw this lady years ago who would dry her okra and then paint Santa faces on them and use them as ornaments. And they dry with the seeds inside, and so when you shake them, you can hear the little rattle of all the seeds. It's so cute. So I've got maybe 50. Okra is a really prolific plant, and we've got, look at how much we've got planted. That's a ton of okra. So we're gonna have a paint party here at Cabin Creek. Look, won't that be fun? That little curved Santa beard will be so cute. So we'll have plenty of okras to turn into little Santas. If you're in the area, I'll announce it on Facebook. Make sure you're following us on Facebook to get those kind of announcements. The last thing that we've gotten here going down this trellis, I'm not going to go in there because I've got my nice shoes and my nice pants on. But those are cucumbers, and those have been really, really fun. The kids come out here and just gobble them up. Not very many go to waste. They really enjoy them. In fact, here's a good one right here. Let's see. Oh, that's a perfect size. That would be good for snacking on. When they get too much bigger, kind of like that one, they start getting a little bit seedy, and I don't enjoy them as much. So I'm gonna put this in my pocket and continue our tour. So this has been a fun vegetable garden, but it's August and we haven't had one tomato yet. So I hate that, but it is what it is. End of the season, when we're done harvesting, we're gonna remove all of these poles, and we're going to remove all of this hardware. There's so many holes in this. That's why weeds grew freely from it. And we're just going to let the pigs in here. We're going to let them go wild. We're going to let the goat out. Obviously, the horse is already out. Normally, I would never, ever, ever put a horse near structures like this. But she is so old and so slow that she has no giddy up and go anymore. And I don't think that she has any... she doesn't have the energy to hurt herself on anything. She just wanders quite slowly. So that's our little vegetable patch. This field growing in, this was like scorched earth, hard red dirt, like this stuff right here, and it just finally returned to this luscious green pasture. And now Twinkle gets to be in here. Where'd she go? She needs more grass than what she's getting right now, so I'm so glad that she can be in here getting all that fresh grass that she needs. Now let's go up to the gathering place. It's over there. This is from our willow tree. We just trimmed it. I say we, my husband did it. Isn't it a nice shape? Didn't he do a good job? So we're letting that dry out, and then we're gonna drag it over to the fireplace. Have a bonfire. In my last garden tour, I don't think I walked you guys near the barn to see our giant coop. If you've joined us just for landscaping, of course, we do have landscapes here. Gardening is my favorite thing. But let me introduce you garden folks to our chickens, because they are responsible for our fertilizer. Hi, babies. Pretty girl. This is a Favacana. She's a mix between a salmon favarel and an Americana. And that mixture is not only for a beautiful breed of bird, but they lay gorgeous mint green eggs. You'd sell them, Smokey? Look at these silkies over here. Have you ever seen a cuter bird? I mean, for crying out loud. You guys are so cute. Oh, this looks like a messy egg. Oh, it's just it's a baby egg. Just a little baby. Little messy. This must be from my Silky. That's her feather on it. Are you laying eggs? Are you laying eggs, my dear? That is your feather. What an angel. Little messy. I might need to trim some of those feathers near her butt. Can you imagine trying to pop something out? It's hard to reach back there and wipe with all that fluff. Let's go up here. Let's show them the gathering place. Here's my pièce de résistance. This has been the easiest landscape to upkeep. I've got some pokeberry that's grown in wild, but other than that, this really keeps its beauty no matter what I'm doing to it. So we're just about to come into another bloom cycle on these drift roses right here. I need to come in and deadhead. That's a maintenance thing. I didn't really take into mind. I didn't keep it in mind when I planted these. I don't really have time for that, but that's okay. The butterfly bushes, boy, do they hold their own. I have not deadheaded anything. It's probably time to start now. Coming around the corner, this Russian sage in the aqua pot is just beautiful. It loves the aqua pot. And then this is a firelight tidbit behind it. I think I want these everywhere. It's such a beautiful and such a perfect little size. It's such a beautiful hydrangea. There's some more mulch I could use. I could use those just everywhere. But I'm not going to be adding new landscapes until I can figure out how to stay on top of watering. Here's a hibiscus. I think she's done. I think she's done for the season. She's really performed. During my birthday, she was just absolutely gorgeous. During farm camp, during horseback riding on that day, it was magical, absolutely beautiful. Here is our hummingbird magnet. This is I'm still holding this egg in my hand. Do y'all like that? This is the vermilion air. The hummingbirds come up to this all the time, and I think this is the perfect pairing with it. I think it softens that hot orange a little bit. And then, of course, I've got my white flowers. I am starting to love white flowers in the garden, because when you back up and you look at this, it's a beautiful border. It really brings your eye. It brings the other colors. It helps the other colors pop. Does that make sense? It's like the frame for all the beautiful things. The sunshine ligustrums getting a little woolly. Time to shape them down. I'm going to keep them into little tiny orbs. And here's some impatiens. I did plant some petunias. They're doing all right. But that's not nearly as much color as this vinca. Look at this pokeweed. Y'all, I have dug this out of the ground. Let me put my egg down. I have dug this thing out of the ground 10 million times. Ugh, kill it with fire. So here's a beautiful little sitting spot. Okay, so in the future, let's pretend that I get my life in order and I can stay on top of weeds. Ideally, I want to replicate this with the butterfly bushes and the roses, and I want to repeat that behind this tractor shed right there, because we noticed when we were having our birthday party out here that this was such a beautiful view from here to look at the barn. But if anybody was sitting on this side of the picnic table taking a picture behind us, there's no backdrop. You know, there's just rustic, not chic rustic, but like just rustic. So that's in the works. We've got a couple ideas. That's all for the garden tour. I can't think of anything else to say. This has been such a hot mess. If you've made it to this point, give me a high five in the comments, because this is such a last minute plan. I am like a sweaty, blobby mess. Kids are screaming in the background. I'm still walking around with a cucumber in my pocket. Oh, my egg. I gotta go get my egg. Thanks for sticking with us. Stay tuned. We do have really exciting news coming up about this partnership with this company that makes things for chickens. And so stay tuned for that. We love you guys. See you in the next video. Bye. I got my